Welcome back. All right, so we've had some time to digest the Jesperi Kotkaniemi situation, including all of the troll moves that are in this 1 year offer to Kotkaniemi. But now what's come out as well, and this is being reported in the media, is that Kotkaniemi, after being a healthy scratch in the Stanley Cup Finals, told people close to him, I'm never going to play in a Montreal jersey again. And there was some debate about whether or not Kotkaniemi should be a healthy scratch during those playoffs, whether it was at the start of the playoffs. Remember when he scored after he was put in the lineup and he kind of saluted the other players who were healthy scratches? That tells me that, yeah, there were players in Montreal that weren't happy with the way that the lineup was being deployed and who was in and who was out. And Kotkaniemi feels at this stage in his career he should be in the everyday lineup. Clearly, with the money Carolina's thrown at him, $6.1 million in an offer sheet, they believe he's worth more as well. So they've tried. Carolina, for the record, did try to make a trade with Montreal, but apparently Montreal wanted way more than what Carolina was willing to offer. So Carolina goes the offer sheet route. And it's interesting because there's a whole debate to be had here about what is Kotkaniemi worth. If he's worth as much as Montreal thinks, why was he a healthy scratch in the final? And so that's a question right there, right? If you're saying there are, 18 players that we think are better, there's 12 forwards we feel are better. So we're gonna rest them. Well, then why would you ask Carolina for a big amount? And if it's, well, we think he's got the potential for that, that stardom, then you'd match or not match like it. So it's going to be interesting to see what Montreal does. They do have the 7-day period where they can decide to match or not. And of course, I see Montreal fans say, they should drop it and then immediately offer sheet Elias Pettersson. I don't know that necessarily is the route that Bergevin's going to go, but there have been discussions about whether or not Pettersson might take an offer sheet. But you have to sign it, right? So it's not just a matter of a team throwing an offer sheet and then immediately it's a thing. The player has to sign it. So this means Kotkaniemi signed with Carolina. And, as it was pointed out a couple years ago by Montreal fans, Aho signed the Montreal offer sheet. So, what was that about? It felt like, and since then, it seemed like Aho wanted the whole thing over. Montreal was offering him what he wanted, a lot of money up front, so he takes it. It didn't feel like it was a broken relationship between Sebastian Aho and the Carolina Hurricanes. And at the end of that deal, he is an unrestricted free agent. So there's a lot of freedom in that deal that Aho signed that was matched by Carolina. It feels different with the Kotkaniemi situation because he hasn't realized that potential in Montreal yet. The reports are he's been frustrated by that. And, maybe he wasn't happy with being sent to the AHL. Maybe he wasn't, and that was last year. So there may be other things in here, right? This may be more baggage when it comes to Kotkaniemi than what we know thus far. And this just may be the start of it. But for Carolina, shots fired. They have decided this is the player we want. If they're going to give him 6.1 million, that means they see him as a second line center on that team. And there's risk to it, absolutely, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if I'm wearing a Carolina jersey in 6 days' time and saying, yeah, so Montreal didn't match. Now, Olympics news. Denmark, Latvia, and Slovakia all qualified. And just now, I was watching online because I don't think it was even being carried here. The Olympic qualifiers, I'm pretty sure, weren't being carried by TSN or Sportsnet. I never saw them. But Slovakia has closed it out and been the third nation to solidify their spot in the 2022 Olympics. So no real surprises here, which is kind of too bad. It's always fun when a surprise team ends up in there. And on the Denmark side of things, Nick Ehlers with 9 points in 3 games. So he did everything he could to get them there, and it worked. So Denmark's in. Slovenia had a good appearance from Kopitar, but they weren't able to get over the hump. And so we don't get to see a really cool Slovenia jersey for this year's Olympics. But Denmark, Latvia, and Slovakia are all in. So there you go. A little bit of a news of the day video for your Sunday as we get really close to September. We're about 2 weeks out, a little over 2 weeks out from rookie camps opening. And then about a week after that, the full regular camp starts. So we're not that far off. But between now and then, I'll have time to do some career videos and have some fun. And thank you guys so much for sticking around for that. But let me know your thoughts about the Kotkaniemi situation in the comment section below, or how you feel about any of these teams qualifying for the Olympics and which one has a real chance at surprising people in said Olympics. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. I'm supposed to say smash that like button, aren't I? Bring that bell for... Nah, don't. That's fine. I don't expect any of that. That's fine. Just thanks for stopping by. But yeah, again, we'll see how things go with the Kotkaniemi. I'm really fascinated to see what happens here because it really feels like Carolina and Montreal. Something there. All right. Thank you guys for all your support. Getting really, really close to 214,000 subscribers. May even reach that at some point later in the afternoon today. Thanks each and every one of you. I'll talk to you again soon.